Today, we're diving into a story about a 25-year battle between an author and a massive publisher. And for the author, this isn't just some business disagreement. No, this is a deeply personal fight for what he calls justice. And that quote right there from Dr. Mohamed Fayad really sets the stage for everything. For him, this is a moral stand. So what's at the heart of a fight that's been going on for decades? Well, it all starts with the sheer scale of the work itself. To really get the weight of this dispute, you first have to understand the monumental effort that went into creating these books. I mean, this was no solo project. It was a massive, massive academic undertaking. Get this. The project had contributions from over 500 different researchers. So right from the beginning, this was a huge community effort. And to make sure the quality was top-notch, the work was evaluated by 1,000 different reviewers. Just try to imagine the coordination that took. And who was overseeing this whole massive project for 2 full years? Dr. Fayad and his students. That shows you just how personally invested he was, long before any conflict ever started.
The final result was a series of books published back in 1999 that have had incredible staying power. Decades later, they're still being cited by thousands of researchers. So, with a work this important, this impactful, where did it all go so wrong?
Okay, so we've established the immense effort and the incredible value of these books. Now, let's get to the core of the dispute. Dr. Fayad's specific allegations against the publisher, John Wiley Sons.
The central issue really boils down to this. Dr. Fayad says his contract gave him the full rights to profit from his work, but he claims the publisher went and uploaded his books to a major digital platform without his consent, and that he never saw a single penny in royalties from it.
But that's not all. Dr. Fayad also alleges he hasn't received any royalties from his books being widely used in university courses. And when he asked for answers, he says he was met with what he calls stonewalling. He felt his life's work was basically being neglected while the publisher was busy promoting other titles. And this brings us to a really critical part of the story. For Dr. Fayad, this 25-year ordeal isn't just about contracts and money. It's about the deep, personal, and emotional cost of it all. He doesn't frame this as just a financial loss. No, he sees it as something much deeper, a violation of his intellectual and ethical rights as the person who created this work. Now, to put the financial part in perspective, Dr. Fayad says he was initially paid what he calls a paltry sum of less than $10,000 for everything. Now, contrast that with the 500 researchers, the 1,000 reviewers, and decades of academic impact, and the disconnect is just staggering. He talks about feeling completely sidelined and dismissed by the people who were supposed to be his partners. The result, in his own words, has been deep emotional scars that come from feeling so betrayed. So, fueled by this experience, Dr. Fayad is now trying to turn his personal struggle into something bigger. He's making a call for systemic change across the entire publishing industry. And that really makes you ask a fundamental question, doesn't it? Is this just one isolated incident, or does his experience point to a much wider problem for creators in academic publishing? So his demands are crystal clear. First, he wants his own financial and intellectual rights fully restored. Second, he's calling for an independent committee to investigate these kinds of violations across the board. And finally, he wants radical reform to bring real transparency and fairness to the whole industry. He sees his story as a symbol. He believes it's a mirror reflecting a struggle that so many other authors face, a lot of them in silence. And that's what transforms his personal quest into a public rallying cry. And all of this leaves us with one final crucial question. Beyond this one dispute, what does a truly fair and ethical partnership between creators and publishers actually look like? It's a question this 25-year story pretty much forces all of us to consider.